And welcome to this edition of Assembly Update. I'm Matt Vischer. Our guest today is New York State Assemblyman Michael Novikov. Michael represents the 45th Assembly District, which includes Kings County. Assemblyman Novikov, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Matt. How are you?
Our first show. How about that?
Right. Congrats.
I'm taking over for Ted Flint, who retired recently. I know you had a nice banter back and forth. Hopefully we'll build the same moving forward. How's the summer been?
The summer, it's hot. it's much better in upstate now than in the city. So I do miss upstate.
Yeah, well, you get that heat island effect with the buildings and all of that.
Yeah.
So it tends to be a bit cooler here upstate, no doubt about it. Well, I'm glad to hear that the summer is going well. We're going to discuss a couple of topics here. First and foremost, I hear there was a vicious attack involving a teenager in a local park in your district. Could you kind of fill us in on what exactly happened and where things stand at this point?
Yes, Matt. And the community is outraged. The community is shocked because nothing like that happened before with our teens, with our children. So a refugee from Ukraine, he fled the war a few years ago with his family. He's here in the U.S. legally. Was walking in the park with his friend. It's a Manhattan Beach park and Manhattan Beach and Park, which is a very, very quiet and safe place. At least we thought so. So he was walking with his friend on June 23rd at around 9 p.m. At night, and he was attacked first by three people, then more individuals joined them, and as a result of this attack, and the attack was not provoked by any means. I mean, they just peacefully walking in the park, through the park. So as a result, his friend was lucky enough. He was just beaten up, and Valentin, if you could say so, lucky to be beaten up, right? But compared to Valentin, who lost the sight in his right eye, and that's it. That's for the rest of his life. He will live just with the one eye. That's a terrible, terrible tragedy.
Where are we in terms of suspects here in the case? And as you said, it was unprovoked, just walking through the park. And this sort of violence, not very common in that part of your district.
It is not, right. You're absolutely right. But it seems that so after this incident, which after this attack, I would say, which we made public, and I visited Valentin, and thank God, he feels okay. The surgery went well. He's waiting for some other procedures, and he's a strong guy and very, very nice, with a very nice, very bright, personality. By the way, he was, coming from Ukraine, from a different country, without knowing a language. He became one of the best students in his class and in his school. I think he even got the presidential award, which tells us how bright this boy is. And fleeing from war, from the terrible war, and looking for peaceful life in America, he lost his eye just due to unprovoked attack in the one of the safest places in southern Brooklyn, which Manhattan Beach Park is. So and I was trying to make this story public because it's important that we find those individuals, those perpetrators. He describes them as people from Central Asia regions, which is Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. We do not know exactly what country they came from. Valentin mentioned that their English wasn't good, so as we understand, they came from their countries recently. They think they're of Uzbek descent, from Uzbekistan. And when that interview kind of went viral, I mean, like over 100,000 people watched my interview with Valentin. I started getting calls and messages. Hey, Michael, my son was beaten up. My daughter was beaten up, and uh, one of the Uzbeki community members came to my office and said my son, who's Uzbek, was also attacked by. So he thinks by the similar people, and getting all those calls. And people are talking and talking about the alleged like Central Asian or Uzbek teen gang. This is something that people are talking about, and I'm getting more and more of that information. So all of a sudden, we have some kind of a teen gang here, which I will definitely discuss with the both 60 and 61 precinct, because they're not aware of any gang operations here in this area. So maybe
But there's really no reason to believe that this was a targeted attack, though, at this point.
No, absolutely not. And it's not a hate crime, so it's not because they were Uzbek and he was Ukrainian.
Right.
So and there are no signs of hate crime. So I think it's just teenagers, just kids who watch too many action movies and too many gangster movies, and they think that they're gonna organize another gang here. No, they will not. We will not let them. We're working hard on finding them, and there is a community reward not coming from NYPD, but coming from the family friend. He pledged $10,000 to any information which will lead to the arrest of those individuals. Other members of the community are adding another $3,000, so it's total of $13,000 reward, like a civic reward, not from NYPD, but from the community.